Hi, it's Coop Dog again. Doing another video on random stuff basically. I was told to do questions and answers videos and that, or I asked Retro Red Steve what to do, and he was saying, oh, questions and answers are good videos to do that. But I'm going to do a video on movie soundtracks. I love my movie soundtracks, and I've got a few here that I've randomly picked out. Obviously I'll start off with one which, as we all know, Sean Connery passed away this week, but it's the James Bond soundtrack I purchased quite a while back. It goes up to Chris Cornell's song You Know My Name, so it doesn't have any of the modern ones like Sam Smith, Adele, or the new Dua Lipa one. This is quite an old album, but with 24 songs. James Bond, not really watched all their films in their entirety. I can probably say I've watched 3 or 4 of them in their entirety, but not all of them. But their soundtracks were amazing. Obviously, you had the likes of Shirley Bassey singing, and Tom Jones, Sheena Easton, Carly Simon, all those people that have sung on previous soundtracks for the James Bond films. So that soundtrack I just thought was amazing. These are soundtracks, not film scores, like John Williams and the likes of them, because film scores is a different category. I love film scores, like say John Williams is the aforementioned one I just said. Brilliant with Star Wars, Superman, the Indiana Jones films. But these are soundtracks, so they're either songs that are by artists in the film, or songs that are probably based around the film. I've liked a load. Another one was pretty good with his soundtracks. I've also got the Reservoir Dogs ones. Is obviously Quentin Tarantino's soundtracks. Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs. He tends to use a lot of old school music from them. Some from other films as well that might not be quite as well known. Especially with Kill Bill, where he uses Twisted Nerve, which is from the film of the same name, which starred, I think it was Hayley Mills and Hewell Bennett from Shelley. I'd say back in the 80s. I loved the 80s, so Shelley was Hewell Bennett's sort of TV role, but he starred in Twisted Nerve, and the soundtrack for that is the whistling soundtrack from Kill Bill. So Quentin Tarantino soundtracks. Sticking with the 80s themes, and both fairly close together in the 80s. Rocky 4, the one with Dolph Lundgren as Ivan Drago. Again, just brilliant songs. Survivor, obviously, with Burning Heart, Eye of the Tiger, and the bonus track on this one is Man Against the World. You've also got Vince DiCola, who done a lot of the Rocky, but also done the soundtrack of the Transformers, which I have got, but I couldn't find it earlier on, so that's that one. And I got Beverly Hills Cop, which is more sort of your like pop, R&B, soul type music, but with the Pointer Sisters, Junior, Glenn Frey, and obviously the Axel F theme. Again, 80s cheese pop, but brilliant to listen to whenever you feel like. The soundtrack that I picked up a while back, oh, there's Reservoir Dogs. I knew I had that one from Quentin Tarantino's. So that, again, Little Green Bag, the Coconut Song, and obviously Steelers Wheel, Stuck in the Middle with You. Brilliant soundtrack, just unbelievable music. Like I say, I watch my films, whether the films are good or bad. If the soundtrack is good, I will listen to the soundtrack. I'm talking about bad films, but with a good soundtrack, is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Everyone that I know of has been disappointed by this film. The poor graphics, the poor fight scenes, the poor story. However, the soundtrack is pretty good with DJ Scooter, KMFDM on there, Rammstein, loads of good tunes on there. However, that isn't as good as its predecessor, which was the Mortal Kombat 1 soundtrack. This one I had to rebuy. Luckily it was cheap to buy. I bought it for about a few quid, whereas I've seen on eBay that this has been going for quite a lot of money, and on Amazon as well, but I managed to get this for a few bob. Not too bad. I think it was about £3 the difference. The first copy I bought brand new, and broke the disc. So this one I'm keeping safe. But this one has again got KMFDM on there. Tracy Lords sings on there. Well, doesn't sing, it's the instrumental version of the song. Fear Factory, Typo Negative. Again, these are songs that are either played on the film or inspired by the film. So obviously Typo Negative wasn't played in the film, but it's been put onto the soundtrack. Another one that's used some of the songs that were in the film, but the majority of them were sort of based around the film, is Avengers Assembled, where you have the likes of Soundgarden, Buck Cherry, Five Finger Death Punch, Kasabian. You got all those in there. Papa Roach and Evanescence. You got them on that soundtrack. Again, I bought this because of the rock music that I like on there. Because besides liking soundtracks, I do like my heavy metal music, which takes me on to the Freddy vs. Jason. Now, I said, not all these soundtracks, the films are not always the best films ever, but the soundtracks really enlightened me. And I bought this when I was in Reading. I think it was 2003 I bought this soundtrack. If I can check the dates, yes, 2003 I bought this in Reading itself. And it's got Hatebreed, Slipknot, Seven Dust, Murder Dolls, Stone Sour. Bands which are more heavier and heavy rock. So that's why I bought that one. But again, just love soundtracks, love the thing. This CD is not really a soundtrack CD because it's just an AC/DC compilation, but it is for Iron Man 2. If you like your AC/DC, then that is a soundtrack to get. Highway to Hell, Shoot to Thrill, Guns for Hire. I mean, you're talking about AC/DC, so enough said about them. Brilliant soundtrack. I have got the two of them, but this is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I have got Volume 1 as well. Again, cracking films and unbelievable soundtracks. Yeah, they go back a bit, the old style music and that, but I mean, when you hear the song come on, you automatically think of Star-Lord dancing in the beginning and different things like that. So, again, both soundtrack, keeping with the routine, just love the music. With you got Fleetwood Mac on this one, Glenn Campbell and Sweet. So yeah, you're going back some time, but cracking tunes. And yes, I got quite a few soundtracks. I'll take to the last soundtrack that I got now. Right back to the 80s again. Yeah, I must admit, I love my 80s, as you can see by the screen as well, with the WrestleFest playing in the background. But this early 80s soundtrack, the Blues Brothers, what can you say? Not the new one. No, I haven't bought the new Blues Brothers soundtrack. The original Blues Brothers. With the likes of, with the likes of John Belushi for a start, singing, and Dan Aykroyd. And then you've got Aretha Franklin, and you've got James Brown, Ray Charles, Cab Calloway. I mean, what can you say? What can you not say? If you don't like the Blues Brothers or their music, then there is something radically wrong. I mean, it's a classic. It's a classic film. It's a classic soundtrack. It's just got, well, unbelievable music. And again, although I like my rock music, I do like my blues as well. And I think it was the Blues Brothers that got me looking into bands and groups and singers like Cab Calloway, like James Brown, like Ray Charles, like Aretha Franklin. It was the likes of the Blues Brothers that got me thinking, wow, that is good music. So that is my video on the soundtracks. If any of you got any soundtracks that you like or that I might have missed, then put the comments down below. And again, I just watch the movies, but I also listen to the sounds. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.